All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about what happened yesterday. So I decided to go to the Bronx, to a specific part in the Bronx called St. Mary's. It is the hood, but guess what? I was there. I got videos, and we got to talk about who showed up versus who didn't show up. Now, it's pretty crazy that when Trump had his rally in the Bronx, I and a whole bunch of people that went there got called clowns. We got called all type of names for just going, right? One thing I've noticed about this crowd, and they said during Trump's crowd that there was mostly white people from the suburbs, or mostly white people from, just mostly white people at these rallies. Well, I have video proof that 100%, maybe 95% of the people at this rally were not from the Bronx, New York. They were not from Queens, and they were all white liberals. I have all the proof. Just look at this audience here for Jamal Bowman, AOC, and Bernie Sanders. In their districts, the Bronx and Queens, nobody came out to support you at all. You telling me that more black people showed up for Trump, more Hispanics, and more people from the area actually showed up for Donald Trump? I got the proof. So the first few videos that I'm going to show you guys is me walking. First of all, you see it right there on the stage. You see it right there on the stage. But I have a couple videos I want to show you guys that I took myself. So here we go. Here's the first video. This is Brandon Starka that decided to go there. By the way, Brandon Starka is a bipartisan person. He just wants to walk away and go for the best choices. I like that he doesn't represent either party. He just represents the walk away movement. Now here he is, and here's the crowd.
Trump had more black people at his rally than AOC and Jamal Bowman and Bernie Sanders put together.
That's true. Check it out.
Look at this.
It's a sea of white faces.
Once again, they had a whole bunch of salsa music playing for what? Nobody there knew how to dance salsa. There's probably like one Puerto Rican there. But here's more. Here's more.
If you're white, raise your hand. Well, we know you're white. You don't have to raise it. Don't worry about it. Oh my God, bro! You saved me. You know, I was looking for you. My bad, bro. Look at all these white people, man. Yo, there was more black people at Trump's event. There was more black people at Trump's rally. Trump had more black people than AOC.
So one of the main reasons this is all funny to me, fun and games to me, is because of the fact that people in the media for ages spoke about Trump's rally. Oh my God, there's a whole lot of white people that showed up. Well, you're not safe. And the funniest part about this is I had to legitimately go search it up myself. Now we're going to compare both because Trump had a rally in Philly, but I don't want to talk about Philly. I want to talk about the Bronx. These are all the people that came out for Trump. Probably about 10,000. Some people say 25,000. There was a lot of people that didn't even get in. But I can guarantee you that there were only about 500, 600 people here. And probably just a few people from the Bronx. Now, as you can see, all these people, they're not from the Bronx. They're not from the area. None of them grew up in the Bronx. I was on the line waiting and waiting and waiting to see if I see some people I might know. If I see some people I might know. I didn't know nobody there. I didn't even recognize. I asked people, where you guys from? None of them were from the Bronx or Queens. I think they came in buses. Something happened. They came in some type of buses. But let's talk about the queen herself, the queen of the Bronx. So like I told you, there's not that many people from the hood. There's not that many Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, or anybody that represents. So she decides to come out to Cardi B. Let's take a look at this wild craziness going on in the Bronx. Let's go. I can't hear you, the Bronx. I can't hear you, the Bronx. Look, man. Look, the guy running against her has no shot, by the way. I just want to let people know that. But when you're from the Bronx, you don't say the Bronx. You just say the Bronx. You don't say, hey, what's going on, the Bronx? You say, hey, what's going on, Bronx? How y'all feeling today? What's going on, the Bronx? Anyways, back to Jamal Bauman. Now, once again, me and Jamal Bauman agree on AIPAC. We agree on one simple thing, finally. But he doesn't tell the full truth about AIPAC. He wants AIPAC because they're campaigning against him. He wants people to think that AIPAC is Donald Trump, and it's not. AIPAC is legitimately all the Democrats, all the main ones in your district that are running against you. Hillary Clinton has endorsed his opponent. I wonder why Hillary Clinton is endorsing his opponent. Well, here we go. There's a lot more to talk about here. And I kind of want to kick it to, first of all, can we just for a second real quick, let's just go for a second here. Let's just look at Trump's crowd in Philly real quick. So while nobody from the Bronx came out, or nobody came out at all, let's go to Philly. Let's see what Trump did. Look, man, one thing about Trump, let me post this right here. And I said this and it got a lot of likes and stuff because a lot of people appreciated me saying this. But let me show you something that's going to make you laugh today. Let me show you something that's going to make you laugh. With this picture alone, just with this picture alone, Trump had more black people at his rally than AOC had the whole day yesterday. There's more black people in the back of Trump in Philly than the Bronx, than the actual Bronx. It just failed miserably. It's hilarious to me that people really tried to make this comparison. It just didn't make sense to me at all. Well, let me actually play this real quick. Let's play this out. This is about to be funny. Y'all want to laugh real quick? Let's laugh.
And talking about losing your grip on reality and sanity, earlier today, bartender turned Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and a couple of other far-left Democrats held a rally in the Bronx. I don't know, perhaps they were inspired by the huge crowd that Donald Trump got there a couple of weeks ago. But the Democrats' rally, sadly, in what...
Does anybody watch Rita from the Sky News? Sky News got some good people over there.
Should be Democrat heartland, only had a few hundred in attendance, and they were treated to this absolute cringe fest. Now, just watch this and ask yourself, is AOC okay?
Nobody there is from the Bronx. I know, Rita. I feel the same way as you. I couldn't believe it either. Like, bro, I'm so confused. Yesterday confused me very badly. I'm so confused. How do these people get elected? I have no idea, bro. How do these people represent? Like, nobody knew this was happening yesterday. Like, people from the area did not even know. Like, I have no idea what's happening. How did this happen? How do you get elected? Nobody even came out to support you. Nobody cares. Like, this is wild.
Has she got her hands on whatever cocktail of drugs they give to Biden before any major speech? She doesn't seem okay to me. And it only got worse when she spoke. Guys, I don't think AOC actually realizes that the Democrats are in power right now because she wants to win the country back. And then she goes full ghetto, then she goes a bit country. Watch this private school educated daughter of an architect patronize the locals.
Are you ready to win this country back? And are you ready to fight for peace and I don't know about y'all, but I am ready to fight. Let's hear it.
I love the hair work. That's excellent. She wants to win the country back, y'all. From whom exactly? I don't know, illegal immigrants, Joe Biden. She does realize the Democrats are in the White House. And she mentioned Gaza there, and that was also top of mind for the male AOC, Jamal Bowman. Watch this deranged performance, and remember, this man is a congressman, Democrat congressman.
What am I supposed to do? You coming after me. You coming after my family. You coming after my children. I'm not supposed to fight back. I'm not supposed to fight back.
This guy's a clown. Okay, let me take Jamal Bowman to the school that I went to, because he's allegedly a principal, knows all about these fire alarms. You're a liar. All you do is lie about AIPAC. Yes, AIPAC, which Thomas Massey exposed, they are going after you. They're campaigning against you. Yes, they have a lot of power in Congress. I, in fact, think that they should be registered with FARA. They are, in my opinion, a foreign agent. But here's where you lie. You say that AIPAC is a MAGA extremist, MAGA Republican billionaires campaigning against you because you're black. You're a liar. Because everybody in your party, specifically the biggest people in your party, receive millions of dollars. Let's go one by one. Chuck Schumer receives over $2.5 million from AIPAC. Hakeem Jeffries, a guy who is endorsing Jamal Bowman to run against George Latimer. That's one of your guys, is taking $1.5 million from AIPAC, and he endorsed you. And you say that AIPAC is MAGA Republican billionaires running against you because you're black, but your friend is taking money from them. So your friend is a MAGA extremist billionaire? This makes no sense. Richie Torres, who is another Democrat, who is in the Bronx, a congressperson from the Bronx, representative, is also receiving $1.4 million from AIPAC. So let's be honest. You want to make this about you versus AIPAC, but it's you versus everybody in your party taking money from the same people that are running against you. You're a liar. You don't want to tell the truth. This is the problem. These people never want to tell you exactly who's going after them. He's scared. He's scared to say exactly what it is. He's never calling out his own party for taking money from the people that are running against him. So if the people running against you, right, and putting millions of dollars to run against you are also paying the people that are also rooting for you, doesn't that make them sellouts? Doesn't that make you the sellout? And why don't you call on them? But you won't, because you're a liar. All you want to do is make it about race, and this is why people don't respect you, because you're not willing to risk it all to tell the truth. I would agree with you that AIPAC should be registered foreign. They do. They represent another nation. I agree, but you're a liar because you're not talking about the real truth here. The real truth here is that both sides are taking money. You're trying to make it seem like this is Trump's responsibility and trying to blame Trump. All these Democrats do try to blame Trump. But let's keep going.
We're going to show them who the we are.
And by the way, another thing about, look, I curse all the time. And I told you guys, I should stop cursing. I agree. But look, man, just because you're in the Bronx doesn't give you a free pass to start dropping F-bombs. And all of a sudden now you're not a classy person no more. Stop cursing, bro. Oh, I'm in the Bronx, so I got the curse. Now you don't respect the people from the Bronx enough. But that's because he looked around in the crowd. He said, "Oh, there's nobody here from the Bronx."
And just as AOC mentioned Gaza in that rant, Bowman is also preoccupied with the war between Israel and Hamas.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! We are not going to stand silent while U.S. tax dollars kills babies and women and children.
When you watch those lefties lose it, you can understand how, despite the lawfare that Donald Trump has faced, the corruption of the justice system, the 34 nonsense convictions, not to mention the relentless misrepresentation and misinformation from the overwhelming majority of the media, Trump is still in front and strengthening his position. Indeed, in the latest poll, he is winning in every swing state. Every swing state. The latest Emerson College polling would be giving Joe Biden nightmares if he had any idea what day it was. And the polling also shows, incredibly, that New York is in play. The bluest of blue states could turn red. Surely not, but this is the latest Siena College data that's showing Trump is within striking distance after a surge in support from Black and Jewish voters. The last Republican to win New York was the great Ronald Reagan back in 1984. No one's...
I think he could probably do it this time, man. I'm telling you, bro. I've noticed something. I've noticed a lot. I think he could do it. I believe that Trump can... Look, it's probably going to take him a lot to do it. How many likes do we got? Let me make sure to smash the like button. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, we're just getting started here. I do want to show you my speech from last night. And I just want your honest thoughts on this speech. This is not the speech I made yesterday at AOC's rally. This is the speech I made with Curtis Sliwa. If you guys don't know who that is, they had a rally. So I went from rally to rally. By the way, you guys can follow me on Locals. Click the link that's pinned. Follow this channel on Locals. So yesterday I went from that rally to another rally, and I want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. So here's my speech from the rally. Let me know if this speech is better than Jamal's and AOC's put together. I don't know. Maybe you guys be the judge of that.
I don't know how to follow any of that up. Don't mean to bring the mood down, but I'm Lou Valentino. I've been on YouTube for about 2.5 years. And I got on YouTube. I never spoke about politics, but I'm from the Bronx, New York. And it is hard to avoid. It is hard to avoid it because ever since I was a young man, I've always asked myself, who's in charge of my neighborhood? And why in the world are we leading in poverty, STDs, dropouts in high school, non-graduates? People are not, they're not adapting. You're going to jail. My father went to jail. My brother's in jail right now. He's in the feds. So I decided to say, I want to make a difference. How do I do that? How do I put myself out there to become something different than what is already expected of me? For decades, Democrats have ran Bronx County. I'm pretty sure they've ran probably every district in Queens. We've seen what Democrats have done. We've seen what Republicans haven't done. My message is to both parties, step up your game. It's time. If you don't step up, people like him, people like Ramses, people like Curtis, legends, our voices will be heard. When Trump went to the Bronx, people thought it was about Trump. Nah, it was about Trump going to the Bronx and putting pressure. So now when people wake up, they're like, wait, who is my district attorney? Like, who are the people in charge? Why is crime running rapidly? Why are migrants now in all the hotels, secret locations? Ladies and gentlemen, I just came from the AOC event, by the way. I argued with like 25 people there because I can't lie, no offense, but there were nothing but white liberals there. I think Trump actually brought out more Hispanics than black people. But the media won't tell you that. But what that's telling you is, Republicans, it is your time and your moment to finally come into these neighborhoods and put in the effort. My biggest wish is that we go and we advocate for more community centers. We advocate for the young men and children of today. So that way when they're in their 20s and 30s, they know right from wrong. Instead of having to learn in the streets and learn street dialogue before they can even learn how to read or write. My name's Lou Valentino. I'm going to get everybody's info after this. I love you guys.
Imagine listening to that, right? Imagine listening to that and then saying, oh, Lou, you are a Klansman. Like, you guys are crazy, bro. Imagine listening to that speech. A bipartisan speech that has nothing to do with politics, but the future of our young men and women of tomorrow. Imagine listening to a speech like that and saying something so dumb. Oh, you're a Klansman. You're a racist. You guys are so delusional. And that's why I say I would pay any liberal that has a big platform, I'll take you to the hood with me, and we'll go to the hood, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll show you exactly the areas that are represented by Democrats, mostly all of them. Because I had this argument with this girl. She was like, "Oh, you Dominican? You Dominican and you're Republican?" She started freaking out on me. And I was like, well, I could be whatever I want. Number one, I'm independent. But number two, if I wanted to be Republican tomorrow, I could be whatever I want. You see, it's so sad that people could look around, bro. They could look around and watch things be so messed up. But because of their pride and ego and because of whatever's in their head, they feel like, oh, that doesn't need to change. So I'm going to play a clip for you real quick by Bill Maher. And I'd never do this. But I want to play this clip because I think this is exactly how I've been feeling about all of this. Because trust me, I'm telling you, a lot of people come up to me and they say a lot of stupid stuff, a lot of dumb stuff. And they think that I'm like this person that just, I'm like whatever's in their head when they think of a Republican, because that used to be me. That's why I have sympathy for people. That's why people like, oh, Lou, why are you so kind to liberals? Why are you so kind to progressives? I'm like, bro, I used to be one. I used to be just like that. But what they don't understand is that there can be change. You just have to try to change it. And what liberals and Democrats have done so well is they feel that they make you feel that you are obligated to vote for them. That there is no change without them. And I say, there's no change without us. We, the people, the citizens of the United States of America, they work for us. We don't work for them. So we're not obligated to vote for these people. We don't even know these people from a hole in the wall. All these people are to us are people that legitimately receive money from big donors and lobbying. That's it. We don't know them. They work for us. I don't know these people. And look, some girl was like, oh, but what about Puerto Rico? What about Puerto Rico? Okay, I said, I might be liberal on some issues. I might be conservative on many other issues. But that doesn't mean that every issue is the same. When you're a single voter issue, and I think this pro-Palestine stuff really changed people's perspectives for the absolute worst, because they became one issue voters. See, I'm voting for many different issues. I'm getting involved in politics because I saw the way I grew up, and I'm like, yo, people cannot keep growing up this way. This is ruining our culture. This is ruining our city. It's ruining the way we are as a people. And you could keep watching that and not say nothing? People are crazy. Anyways, let's take a look here real quick.
45% of Hispanic voters prefer Biden compared to 39% for Trump. Last time he won, 59%. That was 2020. So he's lost 14 points there. He went to Morehouse. He said, what is democracy if you have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot? That seemed like pandering to me. Black voters under 50. He led by 80 points in 2020, now by 37, still a lot, but he's lost 43 points off the key constituency. Student loans. He's forgiven $144 billion in student loans. Only 36% of student debt holders like it. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you can't win the people you're pandering to, I mean, I get it. Politics is somewhat about pandering. That's not even an insult. You're supposed to do what people want to a certain degree, also be a leader. But if you're not winning these groups, and he's lost 8% off women since 2020, and yet I read in the polls, he pulled ahead this week. Explain that to me.
So the reason why I play that is because just think about it. Hispanics have given Democrats their vote. All these people have gotten the vote of minorities throughout the years. But what happens to the Hispanics that have already been here and have literally for generations been proud Americans? All of a sudden, they just have to give it all up because of what? That's the thing about America is that people don't understand. And this is where I differ from a lot of conservatives. I don't look at America as an ethnic place. I look at America as an ideology that needs to be executed. And if people are loyal to the United States of America, then they're loyal to what the Constitution is: free speech, right to bear arms, right to a fair trial, all the amendments, all the Bill of Rights, right? What America is an ideology. It's not an ethnic place. Some conservatives argue something different. And that's where I call them groypers. They're people that just believe that America should be all white and all right. For me, I just don't think that way. I think there's a lot of white people here that don't do what's best. So it's not a race thing, but what I've noticed is that a lot of people on the left, they do the same thing that the people on the right do, and they make it about race. Oh, America is not for, no, America is for those. The United States of America is for those who are loyal to it. Just my opinion. And look, man, you can get into these arguments with people all day. I don't want to do that. I don't really care to do that. All I'm saying is this. I live here. I've lived here for generations. I mean, my family's lived here for generations. Shit. I'm going on decades, going on 3 decades of living in 3 years. I want to see the place that I live in be great. I want to see the place that I live in be good because I live here. I don't live in anywhere else. So what am I supposed to do? Not fight for the place that I live in because you don't like white people, or you don't like what? Like I don't know. Like once again, these arguments are rhetorical. They're stupid. And for me, I just laugh because people don't understand that they have such a great opportunity here. And it's funny because I hear this from everybody that runs away. They come here. They're like, yo, my country is, I had to flee my country because things got bad. And that's why I love America. And then you meet people that are like, well, I've been in America my whole life and I don't love it. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But I understand because one point in my life, I felt that same way. But how can you live in a place and absolutely not try to make a difference? How can you not try to make a difference? So I have my disagreements with conservatives on a lot of issues. I have my disagreements with liberals on a lot of issues. That's just the way life goes. And if you agree with everything somebody does all the time, you need help. And that's just the way life is. Now, let me ask you guys a question. So Puerto Rico, right? This is a great topic real quick. And I want to segue off this. And then we're out of here. Puerto Rico. Let's talk about PR real quick. Puerto Rico. Should Puerto Rico become a state? Should it become a country by itself? See, a lot of Puerto Ricans are trying to fight for Puerto Rico to become its own country. So that means detachment from being a U.S. colony. It's an interesting topic. I wasn't born in Puerto Rico. I was raised in Puerto Rico until I was 7. I have attachments to Puerto Rico, but I'm from the Bronx. Don't get it wrong. But there's a lot of Puerto Ricans from the Bronx, and a lot of people feel like the United States has over-occupied Puerto Rico. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I think Puerto Rico should become a state, and I think we should give Puerto Rico all the federal rights to vote in elections. I think Puerto Rico has that right. Another thing happening in Puerto Rico that I don't like is the same thing that was happening in Mexico, is that because of the tax, because of the cheap and tax cuts that you get there, a lot of people have moved there. A lot of rich people have moved there, and they've taken advantage of the system while the people that have lived in Puerto Rico for ages have suffered. That's a great topic of conversation to have. But I think that I disagree with people that want to make Puerto Rico a country. I just don't. That's just not my. I think we should give Puerto Rico full rights to vote in federal elections. I think that they should become a state. That's just my opinion. But they are very liberal. But I just look, because that some girl that was arguing with me, she made me think about that. I was like, I'm not that educated on what's going on in PR. I'm more educated on what's going on in the Bronx, but I'm not that educated on what's going on in PR. I just thought that was a good question to ask the crowd. You like Puerto Rican women? I'm never going to run for office. I told you guys. Puerto Rico is a socialist island. Puerto Rico. I'm gonna study a lot of what's going on in PR so I can have my own real opinion. I don't really have an opinion right now, or that's why I'm asking you guys these questions. I have for a long time heard that Puerto Rico doesn't have federal rights, like in elections, like they can't vote because they're a U.S. colony. But I do have a lot of Puerto Ricans that follow me as well from Puerto Rico. So it's a very interesting conversation. Interesting. Interesting. A lot of interesting comment. Let them be their own country. But I know so many people that would not want that because so many people have grown up. It's a very complicated issue. And this is what I tell people all the time. These are complicated issues. Every issue is complex. Every issue is different. Not every issue is the same. Some issues deserve different stances. I don't box all my issues in at once. I don't. You guys know that the Israel issue for me is different. We agree on a lot of other things. We just don't agree on that. Okay, cool. We agree on Trump. Cool. We agree on Trump. We might not agree on this. We might not agree on that. But that's just the way life is. And that's what's beautiful about it. What I've noticed today, and that's why I think this is the most dangerous time we've ever lived in, bro. People try to make every issue the same thing as every other issue. It's not the way it works. Clint, that's a great point, Clint, about Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico, I don't know. I'm gonna study everything that I can about it. And then I'll form my own opinion. I'll let you guys know. I do have Kim Iverson coming on the show on the 28th, June 28th, if I'm not. Why is it not a state? That's another great question too. But look, what I told you guys about this. You guys just open your eyes. Remember what happened in Mexico? Mexico started kicking out. They started kicking out rich people that started going into Mexico they started basically buying or staying in Mexico, and they started getting kicked out back to the country, back to the United States of America. Why? Because they saw that it's a cheaper life, and millionaires and people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars began to move into Mexico for tax cuts and a cheaper lifestyle. What did Mexico do? You guys got to go back up. That's something that I was like, whoa, base Mexico. They started kicking out Americans that started trying to take advantage of the system. So I believe that that's the same thing happening in Puerto Rico. A whole bunch of people trying to take advantage of the system. So PR doesn't pay taxes. Won't happen. Find out how much money is given to PR. Bad idea for Puerto Rico to become a state. Interesting. It's a lot to learn. I think, like I said, I don't really know much. So look, it is what it is. PR will remain the same. June 28th at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I got her coming on the show. But here's another thing. Off the Puerto Rico topic. Okay, great comment here. All right, you guys are doing a hell of a job with these comments. All right. Let me read this comment. Lou, the white dude running against Jamal Bauman is actually Israel. First, though, LOL, Israel's lies are dying anyhow. Look, I don't want to get into this convo. Jamal Bauman, he's just not genuine. That's his problem. He's not genuine. These people are not genuine people. They want to make everything and box it in no, it's not the way it works. Just not the way it works, man. Jamal Bauman is the worst type of person because he won't tell the full truth about AIPAC, about lobbying, about donors. He won't tell the truth. So they're not telling the truth about AIPAC. They're trying to make it about Trump. Could you believe that you finally got an opportunity to actually unite, bipartisan, unite the right and the left on this specific issue about foreign lobbying? And you know what you do? Instead of uniting with the right and people on the right that think that way, they're like, yo, you know what they do is they start blaming Trump. They start blaming Trump and saying that, oh, it's MAGA Republicans. Bro, are you kidding me? You finally have a chance for a lot of people to come together and say, yo, hey, maybe we should try to register AIPAC as a foreign lobbying. Maybe we don't like this. We don't like what's going on. But no, you know what they do? They blame Trump and say that it's racist, like they're not real. That's their problem. It's just not real. I think lobbying needs to end. That's just my opinion. If we're ever going to have honest people that actually work for the American people, how can we have these foreign interests? And how can we have these even national interests from billionaire corporations, trillionaire corporations that they're always going to put themselves first? Look, another thing, and here's another thing I want to tell you guys. That guy running against AOC, he doesn't have a chance. Why are Democrats? Is he running? Obviously, he's running as a Democrat against AOC for AOC seat. I think. Could be wrong on this. Whatever he's running as. The Dolan guy, I heard him speak yesterday. I didn't even get to meet him. He spoke where I spoke at. He spoke in the same place. He spoke there. I spoke there as well. He left. He didn't even talk to people. He didn't. Who is this guy? Like, he's not going to win. Like, who he's just not gonna. He's not gonna beat AOC. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. You got to throw somebody out there that really means it. And then people just they're not going. Marty Dolan is better than AOC. Look, man, whether he is or he's not good. Like, he doesn't talk great. He's not good. Like, he's not gonna win. You need somebody explosive. Yeah, but you got to put money behind Tina. Like, look, man, there's a kid by the name of Vega that's running as well. I like him. I got to bring him on the channel. I don't know, man. You cannot. She's probably good. Look, people can say she's got to go, but if you're not making an effort to actually throw somebody out there that really means it, that's actually from those areas, you cannot, absolutely not throw a guy by the name of Marty Dolan. You just can't. You got to throw somebody young, somebody fit from the area with experience, and do it. No, I'm not. I'm 27. What am I running for? I've been in politics for 2.5 years. Stop. I don't stand a chance. Maybe in 5 years, 10 years from now, I'll be more sharp, a lot better, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning. And look, maybe some people will say the same thing about her. She's still learning, but I'm not there. Lou, did you vote? I never voted in the general election before. I just started voting recently. I never voted in the general election. In 2016, you want to know who I was going to vote for? Bernie Sanders. Prime Minister Lou? Oh my God, no. I'm not selling myself short, but look, man, I'm very honest. I wouldn't even, if I saw somebody like me on stage, I'd be very, very worried. Like, man, who? That guy. What is that guy doing up there? Yeah, I'm still learning, man. Yeah, I was going to vote for Bernie. You know, in 2020, I didn't vote also. Pandemic year. I was outside protesting. That's why. You can't go from protesting with BLM in 2020 to all of a sudden now you're running against. No, it's not real. I wanted this to be genuine, and I want it to be time lapsed. I don't even think that's a word, but I want to earn it. If I'm ever going to run, I have to earn this. Like, I can't just run now. 4 years ago, I was marching with BLM to 4 years later, you know, I can't. That's fake, bro. That's not real. Lou, we are Arawak indigenous, not Puerto Rican, but Borinquen. Well, look, man, I did my DNA test. It says I'm from Hispaniola. I'm 10% indigenous to the land. I'm a quarter black. I'm a quarter sub-Saharan black, African, whatever. And I'm 60% from no, I'm almost 60%. I don't even know. I got to look at my DNA, but I'm Spaniard, dude. I'm from the Canary Islands. Yeah, so the Puerto Rico stuff is like they're making a list of, I don't know, man. We got to talk about all this stuff later. I love you guys. I got to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this another thing is like, I got to really study who's running. This Vega kid, I got to reach out to him. I don't know his phone. Jose Vega, I think that's his name. He's running. If I could find somebody that's running that I could endorse fully and we could push, you know, Puerto Rico is our international guard. I am an American. I am. But my race says otherwise. My race. We're talking about race. And we usually, when those conversations come about, they're only coming about because they want to speak of it, the indigenous people of the lands. And that's always a conversation that comes up. In 2024, me personally, the way I'm looking at it is, what are we doing? Can we go? Or like, are we going backwards? You know, the most progressive people are always the people looking back. People are all progressive. They're all so progressive until it comes to race and all this other stuff. We're always going to be held back by those people. We can never move forward if we're always constantly looking backwards. Yeah, thank you for noticing this, Chaz. Thank you for noticing this, because I've noticed this too. The guy running against AOC is just a fake prop. He was put there to win against him. Yeah, he's also being funded by a whole bunch of GOP. We got to be careful with the GOP billionaires too, though. Those people are not great. They don't have your best intentions. Remember this. I think what made Trump so special is that by the time we got to 2008, and by the time we got to even the Bush era, we've noticed that billionaires will do everything in their power to place people in these positions so that way their power extends and goes over, and they'll spend as much money as possible for whatever it is that they want to push forward. People are legitimately placed in these areas because billionaires go out of their way to make sure that they're placed there. And by billionaires, they could be corporations, they could be just lobbying companies, but they legitimately. Somebody said Trump has sadly become mid. Oh my God, what makes you say that? That is another conversation I want to have with you guys. I don't think he's become mid. Look, man, when you say you don't want to tax tips, he actually has a new anyways, I'm out of here. Guys, if you guys can, once again, I try to put in all this work for you for free. I do it for for free and all these things. If you can, just please join the local, support this channel as much as you guys can. I really, really, really would appreciate that. I really would appreciate that. So I love you guys. Click the locals link. You watch for free. We all watch for free. Look, at least one thing about not being monetized is you guys don't have to worry about ads. Let's be honest. One thing that you don't have to worry about in this channel is that when you click, you know that there's not going to be one ad here. There's not going to be one ad. You're going to enjoy your time here with no interruptions, unless I have a sponsor, which I don't right now. But look, if everybody sent $1 right now, we'd have. Oh my God, I'm Joe Biden. All right, guys, I'm out of here.